St. James has, since I believe it was 1992, had a representative in government. Since 1992. 2022, St. James decided not to have a representative in government. St. John's decided to continue to have a representative in government. St. Paul's decided to continue to have a representative in government. St. George decided to continue to have a representative in government. The good people of St. James say, we want to be in opposition. I don't understand it. So I'm wondering if it's a St. James person asking me that question, because St. James had, in my humble opinion, one of the best performing ministers the island of Nevis has ever seen. When we look at St. James, we look at housing in Maddens, we look at the water taxi facility that has revolutionized travel between St. Kitts and Nevis. We look at Shaw's Road, we look at the police station and fire station. We see all this development that happened in St. James. I'm not even talking about the rest of Nevis for now. I'm talking about in St. James. Led by the representative from St. James. And St. James people decide, man, we're getting too much good treatment. We prefer to go in opposition. So I don't know how to answer that question. What I will say to you is that since the change in St. James, I have, as Premier of Nevis, not had a single representation made to me by the new representative in St. James about any project in St. James. And that new representative has been there now since December of 2022. What I will say is that the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, who is at my right, continues to bring concerns, continues to bring issues to us, and we have been trying to address those issues and concerns. We have not as a government turned our backs on St. James, because we recognize that St. James is a critical part of the island of Nevis and what we're doing on the island of Nevis. And that is why, Madam Moderator, we have big projects like the airport project. And you know, people say to me, why did you ask Alexis Jeffers to deal with the airport project? And my answer was simple. Because where the island has had important large-scale projects and we have put them in his hands, he has delivered. And that is the truth. I'm not here to try and make him look good. I am here because the evidence is there to see. And so when St. James people drive on the roads, they see the police station, they take the water taxi, they see the development in St. James, they drive down to Maddens. I took 2 people from the Commonwealth based in the UK, both of them African ladies, took them to Maddens, and one of the ladies said, sir, please stop, I need to take a picture, because people back in her country will not believe that this is government housing. And St. James see all of that and decide to move in a different direction. So you all at St. James people are going to have to explain to me what happened. I don't believe St. James enjoyed the good treatment they were getting. That's all I could say. Sometimes people don't like good treatment. You know? A fellow sometimes leave his missus and go someplace else, and then he begged the missus, please take him back. Because the treatment he thought he was going to get, he didn't get. I make light of it. And of course, we live in a democracy, and people must make their decisions in a democracy. But to me, the move that was made over here in St. James boggles my mind, because if you wanted performance, performance was there to be seen, to be touched, to be felt. And so I really could not understand that. But I say to the people of St. James, notwithstanding that, we have not, will not, and cannot abandon St. James. And so you will see development continue here. Mr. Jeffers spoke about the airport. We anticipate a lot of employment and a lot of activity. We anticipate trucks, backhoes, excavators happening right here in St. James again, as it becomes yet again a hive of activity. So that is what we're seeking to do.